Sanibonani, Thobela, dear staff and students. As you will be aware, our country is currently going through difficult times, as shown by the recent turmoil in some universities as well as our power utility, Eskom. It emerged on Wednesday, the 13th February 2019, that Eskom is now technically insolvent. A worrying development that has the potential to impact negatively on our economy. It is indeed times like these that those who are placed in positions of power and responsibility show leadership, accountability, and a sense of patriotism. We at the University of Johannesburg realize that while our core responsibility is centered on academic and research excellence, we also have a duty to assist in efforts to address national problems as part of our values of knowledge and skills transfer. Our academic and experts across our various faculties and divisions, some of whom sit on various boards, continue to offer their skills and guidance to address whatever challenges that our beloved country might be facing. In the same vein, I also want to echo statements by the Minister of Higher Education and Training, Mrs. Naledi Pandor, who urged students to resolve whatever problems they are facing without negatively impacting on the academic program. Kinako, it is time to reimagine the future together as staff, as students, as government, and as the South African society. As we celebrate the Valentine's Day, I am reminded of a line from one of William Shakespeare's sonnets, which reads, and I quote, "Love is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is a star to every wandering bark." Close quote. As you celebrated Valentine's Day with your loved ones, I hope that you reflect on this profound message from Shakespeare in relation to the unending challenges in your personal and academic endeavors, as well as the role you continue to play in touching the many lives of our students through imparting the knowledge that you possess. To our beloved students, I hope you will embrace and derive inspiration from the wealth of knowledge that the lecturers share with you. Today, the Soweto campus opens the first of our Vice-Chancellor's campus engagements, where our staff and students engage with the university management to carve our way forward. I am looking forward to an encouraging dialogue on our academic and other endeavors. Following the State of the Nation address in Parliament, I was particularly pleased that President Cyril Ramaphosa announced that he has appointed a presidential commission on the fourth industrial revolution. This is to ensure that South Africa effectively and with greater agency harness, as the president said, technological change in pursuit of inclusive growth and social development. As I have touched on this topic in my expectations prior to SONA last week, it is indeed pleasing that the government is embracing the global technological advances and the impact that they are making in our daily lives. The president announced that eminent persons drawn from different sectors of our society have been appointed to the commission, which will serve as a national overarching advisory mechanism on digital transformation. It will identify and recommend policies, strategies, and plans that will position South Africa as a global competitive player within the digital revolution space. That is great stuff worth celebrating. Speaking of Industry 4.0, on Wednesday, the 13th of February 2019, I kick-started the first discussion of my reading group with fellow colleagues, postgraduate students, and some alumni in the Auckland Park Kingsway campus library. We engage on the first recommended book AI Superpowers China, Silicon Valley, and the New World Order, which was authored by Kai-Fu Lee. This is one of the many books of my choices which I believe will offer insights on the role of artificial intelligence and how the world superpowers, China and America and other developed countries, are harnessing and driving development through innovation. As you would know, training on the university's new performance management framework is now in full swing. While we prepare to use the integrated system to record and manage employee performance, the organizational development team is working hard to ensure that all staff members are on par with this new approach. I hope you find the new system easier to navigate as you capture your KPIs in line with our university's global excellence and stature strategy within the context of Industry 4.0. Yesterday at the Fada Auditorium, I, together with the Board of Directors of the Mzala Nxumalo Center, held the annual memorial lecture in honor of the revolutionary thinker, writer, and orator Mzala Nxumalo. The lecture, which delved into the dynamics of class, race, gender, and the production of knowledge, was delivered by Professor Helena Sheehan, the Emeritus Professor at Dublin City University. Professor Sheehan believes that knowledge is important for development of society. Another interesting discussion took place in our Auckland Park Kingsway Library with our School of Communication and our Center for Education Practice Research hosting Dr. Darlene Swensen at a public lecture. The lecture, which was entitled Critical Global Citizenship of the South, Troubles of Justice, Post-Colonial, Decolonial, Memorings, and the Limits and the Possibilities of an Ubuntu Onto Epistemologies, sought to integrate the contested conversations on North-South relations. The global versus the local, the individual versus the various collectives, and the hegemony of modernism against anti-hegemonic voices and alternative worldviews. Dr. Swensen is a senior academic at the University of Stirling in Scotland, having taught and conducted research in South Africa, Canada, the Middle East, and the United Kingdom. I hope that this debate was insightful to those who attended. Our head of the Graduate School of Architecture, also known as GSA, Professor Leslie Loko, will chair the 2019 Architectural Review's Architect of the Year Award in London in March. Recently, she was also a guest on BBC 4 Radio alongside artist Chris Ofili and former US President Barack Obama, discussing the work and life of British Ghanaian architect Sir David Adjaye. You may recall that Sir David was a guest speaker at our GSA's International Lecture Series in 2017. This externally funded UJ Lecture Series continues to grow from strength to strength. This year, speakers will include high-profile architects from countries such as Mexico, Chile, the United Kingdom, Ghana, Niger, Cote d'Ivoire, and the United States of America. Professor Loko, thank you very much for raising the UJ flag high. Lastly, it is a fun period for our UJ sport fanatics. Varsity Cup Rugby is in full swing, and the atmosphere at our Westdean Stadium has been exhilarating. Although our rugby team started off on a back foot, I believe that with the level of talent in the squad, there is enough room to turn the fortunes around in the upcoming matches. I wish you all the best in the competition. Please make us proud.